Hi everyone, Pastor Steve here with another Repair the Breach short video. This series is aimed at those who are feeling stressed out with life, overwhelmed, sense of feeling they're going through grief, or they're feeling like they've failed, or they're feeling like they can't cope with life anymore, and they just life's got on top of them. We've been beginning the series called recent series has been about 6 needs that we all have. We started off with the need to feel valued, to be of worth. We talked about the need to be heard and the need for meaning in the previous 3 videos in this short series. Today we're going to talk about the need for personal space. Jesus in Matthew chapter 14 and in verse 23, it says this, "And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Now when evening came, he was alone there." So we see that even Jesus needed to have time out, away from all the pressures and stresses of the usual routine and time there. So we also need personal space. There's times when we just need to get alone with God, spend some time reflecting on what's going on. We need to get away from the hustle and bustle, the usual activities of the day, and just time to think, time to reflect, time to get on top of things. Sometimes we get so stressed because we don't take time just to mull over what's happened today, to ponder what's happened. I think it's good to keep a journal or a diary where you write down what's happened for the day and you can reflect on it. You can write down some scriptures. You get alone just to get with your own thoughts, and it's essential that you spend time with God every day, getting alone with God, going up on that mountain, so to speak, where you can talk to Jesus about whatever's happening in your life. If you're feeling like life's gotten on top of you, I ask you to ask the question, have you been doing that? Have you been spending that time with God? Now, I know we can still go through stresses and upheavals and all this stuff, even if we are doing that. But often, in the busyness of life, we forget about getting time alone, getting personal space. You know what it's like when even if you're in a loving relationship, there's times where you just want to be away from the person to get a bit of space, to get into your man cave if you're a man, or, whatever it is that you need to do to find that time. Go for a walk. Sometimes I just go for a walk and I'll talk to God while I'm walking. But I get that space where it's just me and God, or it's just me on my own, and you get away from the crowd. I ask you to think about doing that, and it might help you to cope with whatever you're going through. I'm sure that if you get alone with God, it's definitely going to help you to cope with the things that you're facing, the pressures that you might be going through at this time, or the situation that you find yourself in. We all have this need to find personal space, and also I think it helps if we turn off the gadgets. Sometimes, we can be so busy that we're looking at the TV or the internet or our smartphones, our iPads or whatever, and we don't give ourselves time to think. We're not turning off, and we even go to bed, we're listening to something on the phone, and which I do often enough too myself. But we don't really turn off. We don't really switch off. We don't really take time to have that personal space away from all the noise that this world is throwing our way. And many years ago, I went to a conference, and the speaker that was introducing the conference, he wasn't even a speaker at the conference. He said, "You will hear many voices, but there's only one voice you need to hear, and that's the voice of God." And when we get alone and we turn off the noise and we get quiet before God, be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46 verse 10, then we find that God can speak to us and we hear his voice. And that's what we really need to hear. So take that time to have some space. And also the day off. We need to have one day off each week where we break free from our usual activities and we take a day of rest. God's made a 7-day week for us, and every week we should have at least one day where we have rest, where we have fun, or we enjoy ourselves, or we just get away from work and put those things aside and just spend it with the family, spend it with God, and just spend it relaxing and enjoying life. It's okay to have fun. Let's remember that. Just get back to having some fun as well. Life isn't all about doing all the time. God bless. I'm Pastor Steve.